All right, this is the last part of 5.1. And this part you will need your calculators. So the natural base and compound interest. Most important thing you need here is in future lessons, the next few lessons, you have to know that E is estimated to about 2.7. So instead of using all of this for natural base, this information, we're going to be using it in the next few lessons. I just want you guys to understand what E is because you're going to see that in one of the formulas, but you're going to use your calculators for that, okay? But again, you will see this in the next few lessons and you will have to know the estimation of E. But for this case, with interest, compound interest questions, you will have your calculator and it will plug that number in for you. All right, so looking at the first formula you have to know, which is right here. When you are solving for this one, it's giving you a specific number of times a year compounded. So when your question is telling you, okay, it was, compounded quarterly. Quarterly, we should know stands for 4. So if I have a compound of quarterly, I have 4. If I have monthly, I have 12, and so on. Daily, 365. If they ask for weekly, 52 weeks. Just some numbers that we should know. So let's go ahead and look at this question. Just write our formula. How do I know which formula I'm using? It's telling me it's compounded quarterly, so that's giving me a specific number. Okay, that's giving me a hint of what formula we're going to use. So the formula for this is principal times 1 plus your rate as a decimal over the number of times compounded times to the power of the number of times compounded times time. So let's go ahead and find that information. Principal is what you start with, okay? They invested $12,000 at an annual rate of 3%. This is my rate as a decimal. It's going to be 0.03. Find the balance after 5 years, which is my time. Compounded quarterly, which is 4 times. So if I'm looking at this question, now I have to figure out how to plug it into your calculator. Go ahead and grab your calculator, and I will write down what you're plugging in. It should be an open no parentheses yet. It should just be the principal first, 12,000, open parentheses 1 plus your rate, 0.03, divided by your the amount of times compounded, which is 4, close the parentheses, to the power of, okay, it's going to be that up arrow, your time, which is 5 years. Let me change that color. 5 years times 4, okay? This is what it should look like in your calculator. If you plugged it in correctly, your answer should have been $13,934.21. Keep in mind, we are dealing with money, so please make sure you round it to the nearest cent. You are rounding. Okay, please do not just give us the answer on the test or quiz. We have to actually see you plug it in. So if I were to plug it in, what would it look like plugged in? 12,000, open parentheses 1 plus my rate over the number of times compounded to the power of my time times the number of times compounded, which was quarterly, which is 4. So this is what it should look like. And let's go ahead and do the next example, kind of labeling what we have. This is my principal. This is my rate. This is my time. And they're telling me it's monthly. There's 12 months in a year. So let's go ahead and see, is it better to compound quarterly or monthly? Go ahead and plug it into your calculator. I'm going to write the formula down. My principal times 1 plus my rate as a decimal over the number of times compounded to the power of my time times the number of times compounded. Okay, go ahead and plug it into your calculator. Keep in mind, look at the one above it. And if you plugged it in correctly, your answer should have been $13,939, and round to the nearest cent would be 40 cents. This is my answer. So looking at it, you get a little bit more if you compound monthly. Okay, please make sure you memorize this formula right here. Super important you know that formula. It will not be given to you. All right, the last one, compound continuously. Okay, it says it's compound continuously, then you know you're using this formula. If you want to remember it as PERT, okay, P-E-R-T, this is where the E comes into play, but on your calculator, it will plug it in for you. Okay, so if you know the button for this one, it's there. Where is that button? What do you have to push? It's second ln. So if you look at your calculator, okay, you could see that ln button at the left, okay, top left. And on the physical calculator, it has E with an up arrow. That's what we're using for this calculation. So P still stands for principal, T still stands for time, R still stands for rate in a decimal, and what we're solving is for our value in the end. So again, in order for you to use the E to the power of, you have to click second ln. All right, and I'll write that out for this question. It says, invest $12,000 around an annual rate of 3%. Find the balance after 5 years compounded continuously. That is the key word here. Continuously means I'm using PERT. P-E to the power R-T. So let's go ahead and label and plug in. This is my principal. This is my rate as a decimal. Okay, make sure you know how to change a percent to a decimal. And this is my time. That's all I really need because the calculation of E is on my calculator. So plugging it in, I am going to have A equals 12,000 E to the power of 0.03 times 5. So this is what it looks like written down on your paper. This is what it should look like. All right, now what is it going to look like on my calculator? I'm going to have that 12,000. Then I'm going to go ahead and push second ln, and then 0.03 times 5. And if you plugged it in correctly to your calculator, you should get $13,942. And don't forget to round to the nearest cent. Not 10 cents, 1 cent, nearest cent. Want to get the most bang for my buck. All right, please make sure you memorize these formulas. Again, they will not be given to you. So please practice them and make sure you know how to use your calculator come day of the quiz or test, because I will not be able to help you.